Hi, I'm Jerry Partin,
I'm Carla, his wife.
and just a little bit about ourselves. We were born here in Portales. We raised a family here. We went to school. We graduated from Eastern New Mexico University, and we raised our family here. Other than a few short years, we've lived our whole life here.
Our first child was Emily, and she was born in '79. Then Ben was born in '82. Then Skylar is 26 years old, born in '88, and Walker is 24 years old, born in 1990.
That's a lot of detail.
The only way I remember it.
Well, I work for Roosevelt County Electric. I'm the general manager, and so I will have 40 years in early next year.
I've worked in many places throughout the years. Then when I realized it was getting close to the empty nest, I went out and found a job at the clinic in Partins and worked there for 5.5 years, and recently have resigned that position to be a caretaker for my parents and his dad, and mostly to be there for grandkids. Carla
and I started coming to Central shortly after we were married. Currently, I'm an elder with the church and have been for a number of years. Long-term involvement with the church and in that way, but we have been youth group sponsors. We've been Sunday school teachers. We work with the Kids Zone currently. Over the years, there's been so many things that we have done. The things that stick out are the working with the different kids groups. We used to call it Bible clubs, and we'd have some fabulous parties. Just getting to know those kids and working with them, memorizing scriptures, earning awards. It's just been a blast. But the thing that helped us grow closest to people in the church was the small groups. And that's how we got to know people well, meeting in homes. It just means a lot to have a great support group, and Central's been that for us. Well, we do have a kind of a humorous story. Carla and I were going to be kitchen help at El Porvenir for family camp one year. Get it all cleaned up and decided we would go horseback riding. We went down the road, we rented horses, and there was a couple of horses that they had their own idea of what they wanted to do, just get out and run. It didn't matter who was on their back. They were in control. There was another horse that it only wanted to get back to the stable so it could eat, and there was another horse that would try to brush you off into a tree, and that was the horse that Mike Stratton was on. With Alyssa in front. Yeah, and Alyssa was in front, and Carla's horse only wanted to follow Mike's horse. So Mike's horse would go into the bush and try to brush him off, and Carla's horse would go right behind. Well, the horse went into the tree, and there was no place for it to go. And it was just a hilarious day for us there. Alyssa was so disappointed. She was riding in front of Mike, about 5, 6 years old. Dad, let's go. We want to ride these horses. I don't want to be in this tree. And Mike was saying, I don't want to be in the tree either. And he looks at me and says, Carla, you're the farm girl. Get us out of here. One of the most memorable things in my Christian life came one night when Carla's granddad was passing away. He was in the hospital, and he was just moments from death. The emotion that came over me as I was watching him in that situation, here on his deathbed, dying and suffering and pain, and I wanted so badly to trade places with him. I wanted to go to heaven because I knew he was fixing to be there. You know, reflecting over that emotion that I had at that time, all of a sudden it started putting your life in perspective of what is important. Was terribly difficult for us, for our daughter to come to us and tell us she was pregnant outside of marriage. And I decided
I was just going to have a pity party one day, and my doorbell rang, and it was Kathy Bloschke from Clovis, one of my friends from these Wednesday morning classes many years ago. I probably hadn't seen her in a year or two, but she knew God was telling her that I needed her that day. And she came in, and we talked and we prayed. And I thought that was a terrible time, and I found out later it wasn't so terrible, that lots of people survived through that. And then when it turned out to be an accident and we lost the baby, but we didn't lose our daughter.
One day before she was due, she had a car wreck. She had a severe concussion. They actually had to cut out a piece of her skull so her brain would swell. And through that accident, she lost our grandchild.
But that baby did donate a heart to another baby who got to go home for Christmas, and multiple other donations to other people that needed them. We don't know how many people Riley helped.
The support and the love and the caring that we had from our congregation here was just overwhelming.
We were texting everyone we knew because we knew they would be in church. And our church prayed with us before we left, and everyone else on our phone knew our situation and were praying for us before we even got to Lubbock.
I would just like to invite the congregational members to get close to one another, to develop friendships, to get involved in a small group. It enriches your life so much to have those close friendships with fellow Christians, that you can raise your kids together, that you can develop friendships, that you can talk about the things of God, that you can strengthen your faith, and you can learn to love one another and support one another. And all that helps build the church and help build God's body so that we can fulfill a mission of glorifying God in any situation we find ourselves.
Ready?
I'm ready.
We are Central,
and we're in this together.